Hey guys, Megadeth Jason here, and welcome to another edition of my Madden 2017 franchise. For those of you who have joined me for the first 4 games of my franchise, um, actually went ahead and reset and did some roster editing and updating. For those of you who don't know, obviously Teddy Bridgewater was hurt and torn an ACL and dislocated a kneecap. I was gonna restart at that point, but didn't. And then now that the Vikings have traded for Sam Bradford today, I've gone ahead and actually restarted my franchise. But in the interest of time, I've gone ahead and already simmed through my preseason game and made my cuts. So I want to go ahead real quick and I will show you my team. First, my practice squad, I have David Cobb, Jamal Douglas, Malcolm Mitchell, Jarrell Presley, Tariq Hill, Gerard Bell, Johnny Holt, Trey McBride, James Gauser, and Martez Barner. And obviously my QB's here. I have Bridgewater, but what I'll do is I won't use him at all this season. I'll use Bradford, Hill, Heineke. I actually did the same trade that the Vikings did. I traded my first round for 2017 and my fourth round for 2018. Sorry. Fullback is Zach Line. Receivers of Diggs, Wright, Johnson, Treadwell, Patterson, and Thielen. Tight ends of Rudolph, Pruitt, Ellison, and Morgan. Khalil's my starting left tackle. Left guard Fusco. Center Joe Berger. Right guard Alex Boone. Right tackle TJ Clemens. Left end Brian Robinson. Right end Everson Griffin. Tackles of Linval Joseph and Sharif Floyd. Barr is my linebacker. Kendricks is my middle linebacker. Greenwood is my right outside linebacker. Rhodes, Newman, Alexander, Munnerlyn, Waynes, and Charles is my defensive backs. Free safety Harrison Smith. Strong safety Evander Sendejo. I may actually consider putting J-Ron Curse as a starter. On kicker, Blair Walsh, and then punter, Jeff Locken, just to show that my picks, I do not have a 2017 first round pick or 2018 fourth round pick. So I try to make it as realistic as possible, also cutting John Sullivan and Phil Lodeholt, being Lodeholt retired. So that pretty much does it. It's the same settings as everything was before for those of you who see my first 4 games. So we'll just go ahead right now and we'll get the season started, and I'll see you guys at halftime of this game.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these 2 teams here today. It's the Vikings going up against the Titans. With that, let's get you out to Nashville, where we welcome in our new team for 2016. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, Charles and I certainly looking forward to working with you this year as we welcome the rest of you into Nissan Stadium here in Nashville, Tennessee. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. Charles, for the Vikings, 11-5 last year, tough loss in the wild card. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they're just trying to forget that 3-13 year.
And Minnesota thinks that they've got a team that's built to go and win the Super Bowl. They figure after last year, with some new additions, they've got a heck of a chance to get there. Then you flip it over to Tennessee. No one had a better offseason or draft than the Tennessee Titans. They want to see if they can translate that into victories.
It's the dawn of a new era for us at EA Sports as the 2016 NFL season is underway. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here's the Viking offense their way out. They'll be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner and #1 overall pick from Oklahoma. It's Sam Bradford.
And Sam Bradford, he has touch and accuracy, and he has it in bushels. This guy is amazing. If you watch him throw 7-on-7 or watch him throw routes versus air, the ball hardly ever hits the ground. He's absolutely a receiver's dream when going out for a pass.
Peterson alone in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They run again with Peterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. A play fake. Bradford. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough, swing the tight end free downfield for the completion. So
he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now the 4th-year man, Jeff Locke, on to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Titan football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota's skill set can help continue to evolve the position of quarterback in the NFL. Because his ability to run with the football, you may not utilize it as little as other coaches have in the past. You may emphasize that part of the game a little bit more.
They'll run it here. This is Antonio Andrews. And he's going to, as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Chad Greenway in on the stop. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. Mariota now on second down. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Mariota on first down. Complete left side to Green Beckham. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
Second down now after the pass completion. Now the big man, this is Andrews. They find some open field here. And he's brought down after a good gain. They give him a gain of 37.
One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard in there in an odd front, 3-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. A first down throw for Mariota. Left side caught by Matthews. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
So you can run the route tree as many times as you want. Get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. On third down, Mariota. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So on fourth down, here's the Tennessee field goal unit led by Ryan Suckup. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Suckup will put this one right through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive for them here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first and let everyone start to celebrate.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And Rudolph has it left side, and he's brought down. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. It's a 3-point game here early. We're back to Nashville right after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Now with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. First down is a run with Peterson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Peterson alone in the backfield. Play action now. Bradford. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down. A nickel set shown by the Titans on third down.
Thinking pass.
Here we go. Green 39.
Bradford from the gun on third down. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Jeff Locke now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what
put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it.
They'll come out in the pistol. Mariota now on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Mariota from the gun on third down. And there's a flag on the play. And that is incomplete.
Holding offense.
Here's the 9-year man Brett Kern on to punt the football away. This is fielded at the 27. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The ball carrier there, Adrian Peterson, he turned 31 back in March.
But after his return from knee surgery a few years ago, that incredible return, I don't think we look at his number the same way as we do a lot of running backs who turn 30.
Yeah, I agree. And right now, standing 17th all-time in the NFL rushing ranks. They pitch it out to Peterson. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Peterson alone in the backfield. Now it's a bootleg with Bradford. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And they're just nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's third down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. Now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Bradford now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Now Blair Walsh. She was 6 of 8 from 50-plus a year ago. From the right hash, this from 53. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. Comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the second round. They got a steal with this player.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. A first down throw for Mariota. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brian Robinson in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. In a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic. This is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
Second down, Mariota. This one complete, left side to Green Beckham. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. So we've reached halftime here on opening.
All right, guys, and that's the first half. Tennessee and Minnesota are tied at 3, each trading a field goal. Stephon Diggs, the major news here in the first half, Stephon Diggs is out with a broken collarbone. I've been very disappointed with my running game. I haven't been able to generate too much for yardage. I did get churning a few nice runs with Peterson towards the end of the first half. On the plus side, Sam Bradford has been fairly efficient. So we'll see what happens in the second half.
It's through the end zone for a touchback. The drive begins with a handoff to Andrews. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll run again here with Andrews. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
This is taken at the 18. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And it'll be 2nd and 10. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And here's the first NFL catch for Laquan Treadwell. 23 yards on the play.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They'll get 19 yards there, and it'll give the Vikings a first down.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
They come up at an offset eye. A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Bradford. And he fires one, but incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So they don't get a touchdown here in this opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You've got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On the ground, Andrews again. And Andrews lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now the big man, this is Andrews. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. The first NFL carry for the Heisman winner, Derrick Henry. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Penalty marker is down here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Holding offense.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. third down. Mariota. Got a man, it's right. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time. And back now in Nashville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. A dump off this time for Andrews. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Tennessee first down. In the red zone this time. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
So now 1st and 15. On the read option, it's Mariota. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Here's Andrews. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball. So
here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Suckup will put this one right through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch right down the pipe. And this game's all even here in the fourth.
And he didn't leave much doubt there, did he? Good snap, good hold. And that one was dead center.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
Tie game late, and the offense really has to be conscious of the clock here as it's becoming a factor late in this ball game. Here's McKinnon. And some room to work. It's a pickup of 19, and it'll be a Minnesota first down.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10, and in this case, they did it really successfully.
Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back. Now McKinnon, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. Bradford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So a big spot forthcoming for the kicker, Blair Walsh. This for the lead in the final stages. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Mariota to throw it. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete. Antonio Andrews, the one he was looking for out of the backfield. And that'll bring up fourth down.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield. But that one goes incomplete.
And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Here's Bradford. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now Bradford. And this is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that. Having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They come out here in the I. They'll run for it. Peterson. Peterson as good as they come, but here he can't get the first. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. They'll run it with Andrews. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. Mariota to throw. And there's a flag on the field. And his throw here's incomplete.
Holding offense.
Mariota surveying the field. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Now Mariota. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he slides to another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. 23 yards on the play. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Bradford to throw. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. Second down following the incompletion.
I know for us it's fun. And it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage. end on that one.
Bradford to throw it, and he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have first down. He's brought down at the 41.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. No gain on the play there, second down.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shot handing it to him the rest.
Again, Peterson. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game signifies ball. Yeah, occasionally, but most of the time, those guys on the field power behind. And now what teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play. Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the outcut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
They run, Peterson. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Bradford. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Two minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. There'll be one here in overtime. A defensive timeout, chance to regroup and get set as we resume action. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6.
There you have it, folks. That's the end of the game. The Minnesota Vikings win 9-6. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I thought that the new overtime rules were in Madden. I thought that Tennessee should have had a possession there. Perhaps I'm mistaken. I'm going to have to go back and look at that and see what the deal is. Very ugly game. No offensive touchdowns, but the one promising thing is Bradford did have an okay game. 17 for 29 for 244 yards and no turnovers. I'll take it. Peterson ended up with 22 carries for 42 yards for a 1.9 yard per carry average. McKinnon, 2 carries for 19 yards. And the leading receiver, Kyle Rudolph, had 7 receptions for 83 yards. And rookie Laquan Treadwell had 4 receptions for 100 yards. we'll go ahead and we'll end it there, and we will see you next week for the Sunday night U.S. Bank home opener against the Green Bay Packers.